So, what have you found is a successful way to get men in general, I suppose, to open up about those things? Because at the root of it is, a pretty a strong core belief, I would imagine. So, what have you found is a good way to break through that wall?
I would say with that one, leading by example. That's the
Mm.
easiest one. You get in front of a man and tell them, especially as a man like me who appears to have it all together,
Mm.
and tell them like, look, like I don't know what I'm doing. I There's days I wake up and I'm like, I want to quit. I want to give up because things are not happening at the pace at which I want them to happen. Or if I tell them that I'm sad or I'm heartbroken that this relationship didn't work out or this friendship didn't work out. Like when you start saying things like that and sharing things like that, a lot of times they will match that energy. They will also share things of the same nature. And that to me is like what I've seen. So when you have smaller groups in a space and you share this, especially as someone that people might look up to, it has a profound impact. So I would say that is like first and foremost the main thing. And we do it in the community, but we also do it on the podcast. So even if you're not ready to step into a space, the community, the podcast is another funnel. And it's like I haven't really built it into a funnel yet, but I see it as a funnel, like from how I'm looking at it right now. The thing I would say that I've noticed though is men respond to different language than women. And that's something that like I was actually building content before we got on this call, and I was like, this is like 3 lessons I'm learning in this journey is that like men don't respond to certain language. Things like healing and
Mm.
trauma and what's another thing? Soft and like things like softer words don't speak to men. However, you can still have an impact on again reframing how you market to
Yeah.
men, but still putting on the same workshop or just marketing it in a different way. But one thing I'm learning is that like it's the softer words like soul and healing and soft and emotions. It's not really men respond more to like hustle, grind, like that type of language. So it's like really trying to assess what language works best for them. So that's something that I'm still learning.
So, how do you get your target market to respond then? Because you're trying to attract vulnerability, but you have to use words like hustle and grind. How would you market that to the audience you're after?
I think it's because like men men more so than women are outcomes driven in my experience
Mhm.
from an experience. So for example, a woman will go to an event just knowing it'll be fun or it'll be cool or you might learn something new or meet a friend. Like that might be enough for a woman. Whereas for a man it's kind of like, well, what am I gonna make more money? Is this gonna be networking where I
What's
can
in it
like
for
be,
me?
yeah, like am I gonna have bigger muscles after? Like what am I getting out of this?
Okay.
Right? And I think so to your point, I think it's really articulating what they could get out of it.
Hmm.
And it's funny because I actually made a post about like promoting my brunch, talking about, healing and all these things. And I made it was like a funny post, and the guy just disappeared like healing, I'm not coming.
Yeah.
And I explained, I'm like, listen, like with these things come these things. You can have a life where you're financially free, where you're in healthy relationships. Maybe not healthy, like maybe not that language, but it's like really focusing on one, outcomes, and B, the language. Like even if it's like about how to hustle, we can talk about the hard side of hustling, but we can also talk about the soft side of hustling. Like at our last brunch, we had a keynote speaker. He talked about like how would you guys describe men? He asked the audience, and they said strong, tough, um, a provider, all these like hard words. And he's like, okay, well, can men also be sensitive, caring, emotional? The guys were like, yeah, we can. But those are not the first things we think of. So it's kind of like hitting them with the first things, and then when they come in the room, hitting them with the second things. And I think
Hmm.
that's kind of how I'm looking at it.